sound?
I'll give you yeah, you're good on time. Let me just double check you.
We'll start here.
Yeah, you're good. You're good on time.
We'll start.
Perfect. Hold on. I'm gonna broadcast you to the bottom. Okay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Marma Mac version of our Prodim Festival. Today, I'm going to be demonstrating how to measure a kitchen using Proliner. So, as you see, I have the Proliner set up on my tripod today. The machine is very portable. You can carry it wherever you need to via backpack. The machine can be powered by either battery or directly plugged in power if there's power on site. So the machine is a very portable machine, as you can set it up in many different ways depending on your measuring situation. All right, so on your screen, you guys should also be able to see the screen of my Proliner, which in the upper right-hand corner, we have 3 tabs there which state measure, open, and transfer. And it's pretty simple. When you're ready to measure, you go to the measure tab. When you'd like to open the file, go back and edit, or see something within a file, go into the Open tab. And when you're ready to transfer those files off of your machine, that way you're ready to bring them into your CAD program later on, then you go to the Transfer. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the Measure button today. And in here, this is how we stay nice and organized. On the left-hand side of the screen, you have your project list, which you can create a project for every new job that you go to. So as you see here, we have one created for the Prodim Festival. And on the right-hand side of the screen, up at the top, we see the word file. When I click here, we can actually name the file that we are measuring for. So today, I'm measuring a countertop. So I can go ahead and type that into there. And now I can go ahead and press the start button down here on the bottom right. Open the head of the measuring machine. All right, what the Proliner is asking me to do now is index the measuring head, just a simple up, down, left, and right motion there. Now I can go ahead and grab the remote. All right, so in my right hand here, I have the pin of the Proliner, and I'm physically going to touch what I want to measure with the pin. And in my left hand, I have the remote. And with the remote, I'm going to tell the machine when to record the points and how to record them. And to start off, the very first thing I'm going to do is tell the machine what surface that I'm measuring for. And it's the easiest to take 3 points on top of that surface. All right. Now that I've established the plane of the working area, I can go ahead and start to measure the perimeter of the cabinets here. Starting off, I'm measuring the bases of the cabinets. Touching the edge of the pin to the edge of the surface that I'm measuring here. Now I'm capturing the scope opening. All right, so now I've captured all the bases of the cabinets here, and now I'm going to go back and measure the walls. Now, when I'm measuring the walls, you might see I'm going to take a couple more points. That way I can capture all the ins, the outs of the walls, but we don't know those walls aren't perfect. All right, so you'll see here I can use multiple points along the wall to capture all the ins and outs. Another way that I can measure for walls is using the scribe feature, which will allow me to just simply trace the wall. All right, and there you see I've captured the entire perimeter of this kitchen setup behind me. And I need one more base of information here, and that's going to be my sink center, which is going to be useful for when I go to drop in the sink into the file later on in the editing process. And it's just taking a single point right at the I need here from the kitchen here behind me. I'm going to go ahead and place the pen back in its holder, and I'm going to rotate and close the head of the measuring. Go ahead and put the remote away. I'm all finished measuring now. And the next step, I'm going to bring you into the editing process to show you how we can completely finish this project. We're going to add a seam. We're going to add overhang. We're going to add the sink based on that center point. And we're going to even throw in some backsplash into this measurement. Now, to get started, I'm going to go ahead and rotate the drawing. And to do so, we're going to use what we call an origin tool. I'm going to choose 2 points to rotate the entire drawing based upon those 2 points. That way it's pleasing to my eye when I get started working. Now I'm going to go ahead and go down here to edit, which opens up all the 2D CAD functions that are built into the machine. And to get started, I'll go ahead and delete the broken dotted line here, which is our plane, the first 3 points that we took. I can use a trim tool to extend the 2 lines to where they meet, creating an intersection, closing the corners. I can use the 2 tools to move in closer, making it easier for me to see and touch the thing. And now I can use the line extension tool to extend these lines to right where they meet. And then I can go ahead and delete the lines in between. Alright. So there you see we have the cabinets just like I have behind me. And the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to add the overhang to those cabinets. So I'm going to go down here into the offset tool. And in the offset tool, I can set the size of the offset down the bottom, depending on what size offset the customer is using for the different projects at hand. So you can see I can simply touch to the side of the line I want the offset to go. And then to the outside of the next line, do a continuous offset. Or I can simply do each line one at a time, depending on how I like to work. The next step, I'm going to go ahead and close those 2 corners back together now. Alright, so my corners are all closed again, and my next step is going to be to drop the sink into the file. So on the Proliner, we have a sink library, which I'll show you now. And this sink library, you can upload all the DXF files that you guys provide. You can get those DXF files by measuring with the Proliner, which we are going to show you on Thursday. So if you tune into that webinar session, you'll be able to see that as well. And you can also get those DXF files directly from the distributors themselves on the websites. Once you get those files into the Proliner, you can then simply just choose that sink that you are using. Choose the baseline for that sink cutout. You can set the setback from that line down here on the bottom right, which is set to 4 inches, which are perfect for me. And by pressing continue, I can move on. I can even zoom into my X there, which is my sink center point that I took earlier. And now I can touch that X, which will perfectly align the sink center based upon my sink center point that I took earlier. There you see, I've applied the sink into the drawing. And the next step I'm going to show you guys is adding a seam to the drawing. And the seam that I would like to add to the drawing is going to be 3 inches away from this corner right here. All right. So I'm going to use a split point tool. Go ahead and close this corner. Now I'm going to use a split point tool. Set to the distance I want to be away from this other point, which is 3 inches. And I can simply just touch on the line near that point, dropping the point 3 inches away from that corner. Now, using one of our new seam tools, I'm going to use the particular front line seam tool to draw a perfect 90 across from the front edge to that back wall. But as you guys see here, we have a couple other seam tools where you can just extend the line, do a Euro French miter seam, and even a point-to-point seam. Right. So simply by just clicking on that line and then clicking on the wall to adjacent to it to throw the 90-degree line over to, is the Proliner will automatically throw that 9-degree line in there. Pressing done, I have applied that line into the drawing as a scene. And as you see, that line has a color to it. It looks sort of orange reddish. And you also see a color on the lines of the scene. These colors represent profiles. Profiles represent the type of liner edge. Our green here is shown as a cutout, and this red and orange is a scene. And while we're on the topic of profiles, let's go into the Profile Edge library. Here you see a Profile Edge library, just like your scene library. This can also be customizable as well. You can have all the edges that you guys offer, and when using this, it will even calculate the linear footage of those profile edges. So simply by just touching on the lines that represent the walls here, you see I can label them and represent it. All right. The next step here, I can go back into that profile edge list and grab what front edge the customer has chosen. Use the front section here, and I can go ahead and label those lines as well, zooming in to make it easier for me to touch specific spots. All right, and one last profile I want to add in there, which is going to be to label the flat polish sections on the inside of my stove cutout. All right, so I have completely labeled that drawing there. My last step I would like to show you guys is going to be adding a simple backsplash, because not all of the time is the customer using a full height splash. They might be using a simple 4-inch to 6-inch splash. And we have a tool built into the Proliner to make it easy to draw those kinds of things. So here are my drawing tools. I have a backsplash tool. I can simply set the height of that splash down in the bottom right. And then simply by clicking between the 2 points that my splash will be represented, the Proliner will then draw that piece of splash for me. So there you see I've made my 2 pieces of splash for the back wall here. And I'm going to go ahead and give those a profile as well. All right. So I've turned this simple kitchen of just 2 pieces now into 5 pieces. And the next step for me would be to create those into production pieces. And what production pieces are, they are individual DXF files of the individual pieces of granite. That way you can nest them accordingly on the slab. That way you can move them around and make the nesting appear exactly how you would like it. That way when you install it, all your veins are smoothly flowing. And to do so, all I have to do is just simply select the piece, and then down towards the bottom here, this eyeball is how we take a sketch of the piece itself. And once we take a sketch of the piece, we have then saved it as a DXF file. It's also going to be used to create our PDF shop ticket later on. And I'm going to go ahead and do that same process now, creating a sketch for each piece. All right, so I've taken all my sketch photos there, and I'm going to take even one more of everything in the drawing. And I like to call this one my exploded view. So you could even name each one of these pieces as you go. That way you can stay even more organized. Once you've created all of your sketches, you can then go to the information eye to the right of that eyeball. And here you see all of my photos that I've taken. I'll go ahead and preview through them. And in here, we have a couple of selections, and we can deselect the exploded view on all of our production pieces and keep our exploded view photo just for the exploded view section. We don't care about that having a PDF like detailed page though, and we don't care about that being exported as a DXF file. So depending on what you would like exported and how you would like your PDF to be set up, you can change specific things right there as well.
Also in here, you can go into each individual piece using your measuring tools here. You can display measurements onto the drawing. And some other pieces here, you can also throw angles, radiuses, and you can do that for each individual piece. That way you can customize your shop ticket showing everything you would like to see on there. Moving on, you can then press the right arrows down on the bottom. And in here, you'll see all of the information that you've already inputted to the project, such as the profiled edges that you used in the editing software, even the sync that you chose from the sync library, the name of your project and file, and the date and time that you started. If I go on even farther to the project here, I can enter in more custom information about the project, such as the customer's name, address, phone number, and you can even customize these fields to show exactly what you want your shop tickets to say. One more tab over into the measurement tab. Once again, this is also a fully customizable field, but more about the measurement, such as like the slab thickness, who was the measuring operator, what's the total number of pieces. So once again, you can customize these to show exactly what you want them to say. And if you like even more information, you have custom text tables and text blocks that you can add to your shop tickets. Onto the last tab here that says signature, you could put in your own custom disclaimer for the customer to then sign off on the Proliner. They can simply just use their finger or a stylus to then sign off on the job. And then now I'm going to show you the last step here. This is the PDF shop ticket that you have now produced by creating your sketches. You see our exploded view photo on the first page. On the right-hand side of the screen, you see all of the profiled edges that we used. There's even the linear footage of those profiles as well. Above that, you see the sync. Moving on to the next page, you have your detailed pages about each individual piece with the dimensions that I put on them. Down in the bottom left, you can see more detailed information about that piece, such as the square footage or area of that shape. Go ahead and show you the rest of those pieces now. All right, and back to that first page. And once again, that disclaimer right there on the bottom right, you can see I've signed off on that job, and this is also going to be exported out with your files from the Proliner as a PDF shop ticket. That way you can print it off or email it, whatever you need to do with it. My last step, I'm going to go ahead and click that save icon there, saving this file into the Proliner's internal storage, and we're going to export it out later. All right, I'm going to press close to get out of this measurement now, bringing me right back into the main menu screen. All right, so I have just demonstrated how to measure a kitchen countertop using the Proliner. But now I'm going to go on to some more advanced features of the Proliner, which you guys maybe have seen maybe on our Facebook pages or even our YouTube channel. I'm going to use the multiple planes function to show you guys how you can measure a kitchen and not only just capture just the kitchen countertop, but we can capture the countertop, the waterfalls, the backsplash, all in one file. All right, so to do so, I'm going to get started again, go into the measure tab. We'll stay in the same project folder, but today we're going to change the file name because we're going to a new type of measurement, and we're going to call this one multiple planes. Okay, we're going to do a quick setting check to make sure that I have everything set correctly for this type of measurement. And we are all set. I'm going to click start. Once again, I'm going to open the head of the Proliner, do my indexing up, down, left, and right like I did earlier. Grab my remote once again. All right. So just like I did before, I'm going to quickly measure this kitchen countertop. You'll see I do it the same exact way as before. But I'm going to move a little bit more quickly this time to get into that waterfall legs and show you guys those multiple planes. And lastly, I'm going to capture my sink center. All right, so there you have it. Just like I did the first time, I've measured the kitchen countertop. And now I'm going to move on to this waterfall leg here. And to do so, I'm going to change to a new layer. You'll hear the Proliner has made a high-pitched beep. And now, just like when I started that first measurement, I'm going to take 3 points on the next surface that I'm measuring for. And now I can go ahead and begin to measure the perimeter of this surface as well. Can't forget the outlet here. So we're going to capture 4 points to measure the inside of the outlet. All right. So now I have in this file, I have the countertop and this waterfall leg. And now I would like to capture the other waterfall leg on the other side. But where I have a machine set up, I'm not going to be able to capture this side due to the fact that there's going to be interference with the wire. I can't touch it. So in this case, we have a solution for this. There's a leap function built into the machine, which will allow us to move the machine to a new position. That way we can continue measuring in the same file. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that for you guys now, how I can move the machine and keep measuring. I'm going to go into the leap function and create a new leap. And just to show you guys here, I have these golden leap pods, which come with the Proliner, which I'm going to use as my 4 reference points. That way I can capture 4 points in this position, move the machine to where I need to continue measuring, and recapture those same exact 4 points. All right, so here I go. Just going to simply take a point in the hole provided in the puck there. The ball fits perfectly right in them. All right, so I've captured those 4 points. I'm going to walk back over to the machine. It says the leap has been approved. I create it. I can go ahead now and close the head of the measuring machine because I'm going to be moving it. I can now go ahead and move the device over to where I need it to be. That way I can capture this next surface. Once I'm here, I'll go ahead and open the head of the machine once again. And quickly, I'm just going to make sure that I can touch the next surface that I need to measure. And I can also reach my 4 points that I need to reconnect the machine. It's looking really good. I think I'm great to start. So I'm going to go ahead and connect to that leap now. And once again, now I just need to go back and capture those 4 points. All right, so I've now connected to that leap point. I'm walking back to the machine. And once I get back to the machine, I'm going to see the mismatch distance from the first position to the second position. And I got 0.01, which is 10 thousandths of an inch, which is very, very small. And I'm really happy about that. So I'm going to press connect, bringing me right back into the measurement. Once again, changing to a new layer. And now I can go ahead and measure this last surface. Just like before, I'm going to take 3 points on that surface and then measure the perimeter. All right, and now I'm going to give you guys a little rotational view of exactly what I've measured there. As you can see, I've captured both waterfall legs, the countertop. I'm going to rotate it around so you guys can see everything, all in one file. And what I'm going to do now is we're going to save this file. We're going to close out of here back into our main menu screen. I'm going to go ahead and close the head of the machine once again, putting the remote away now that I'm all done measuring. All right, and just like I was saying earlier, when I'm ready to transfer off of the machine, I'm going to go into that transfer tab. So in here, we can see our files. We can select one or multiple files to transfer. And once we click transfer down at the bottom, it's going to ask you which method you wish to use to transfer those files off the machine. You have two options there. You can use a USB stick, plugging it into the USB ports on the front of the machine and transfer it onto the USB drive. Or the option we're going to use today is Bluetooth. So using my Android phone and going to my Prodim File Transfer app, I can use the Bluetooth option to connect the Proliner to my phone. And just by hitting connect, the Proliner is now sending the files over. It has just sent the files right over to my phone, which I can now actually go into the app and add photos to that folder. So using the camera on my phone, I can then go ahead and take some photos of the cabinets here, get some detailed photos. That way, when I go back to do some editing later, I'll be nice and sure of what I'm measuring and exactly what I'm seeing. All right, so I've got my files all in this folder here, my photos, my PDF shop ticket, everything ready to go. And straight from here, I'm going to email these files back to the office. That way I can give you guys a little show of what we can do with this in our Prodim Factory software. All right, so the files are on their way, and I'm going to step over here and show you guys exactly what you guys can do with this factory software. All right, guys, just give us 1 second. We're going to get that up for you. All right, so here in our match software, you can see we've taken that file, we've brought it into our draw program. We've already cleaned up the file in the draw program, and then we've brought those production pieces into our match software, where we've used a photo of this slab here and nested our pieces onto that slab to actually see the 3D look and the finished production pieces of what we would cut. And if you guys come around on Friday and Thursday, we're going to be showing some more of our Prodim Factory software and the Proliner. And feel free to sign up for any of our upcoming Prodim webinar sessions. Just simply go to our website. And if you would like any more information about our software and our products, give us a call at our office number 772-465-4000. Thank you and have a great day.